So I grouped these two and these two. I pulled a 2b squared out of this, which left me 3b plus 4, and a 3 out of this, which left me 3b plus 4. And these two, I pulled out a 4r, which left me r squared plus 6, and that one is already r squared plus 6. So I'm going to stick that little 1 in there, and that's going to give me 4r plus 1. How'd you do? The last thing we're going to look at is factoring with opposites. If you end up with subtracting opposites, take out a -1. Let me explain what that means. So let's try this one. Here, if we join these two and we do the same thing, this is 3 times 1, this is 3 times 5. So I'm going to pull out a 3 and 2 of the x's. And that leaves me with x minus 3. Bring down that plus sign. These two, I'm going to pull out a 2. And that leaves me with 5 minus, whoops, that's a 5. That makes sense. 5 minus x. Now, if you end up with subtracting opposites, check out what I have. I have x minus 5 and I have 5 minus x. Now, this is not the same thing as x plus 5 and 5 plus x. Because if you made x a 7, 7 minus 5 and 5 minus 7, these are not the same thing. So what they're saying is, take out a -1. If I multiplied this by -1, it ends up being -5 plus x, which is the same thing as x minus 5, which is what this one is. And if I take that -1 and I put it here, now it's -2. So now my answer is 3x squared minus 2 times x minus 5. Now, if you just shook your head and went, huh? Rewind and watch it again. And then give checkmark number 5 a shot. There are 2 questions there. And you're going to end up with opposites, and you're going to have to make one of them, pull a -1 out of that. Push pause, try it, come back. So with our first problem, I took out a 5x squared from both of them, and I ended up with 3 minus 2x. I brought down my plus sign, and from here I pulled out a 4, and I got 2x minus 3. This is the one I'm going to multiply by -1, which makes this a -4, and it switches these around to 3 minus 2x, which is what I wanted here. With 5b, I pulled out an 8 here for y minus 1. I pulled my minus sign down, and I pulled out an x here for 1 minus y. And these aren't the same, so I'm going to pull a negative out of here to get the y minus 1, which is going to give me 8 plus x times y minus 1. Because multiplying these two together, that's going to be 8 plus x. You see, it's confusing. Even I got it. So, your homework tonight on page 555, you are going to do every third problem between 27 and 54, starting with 27 and counting by 3s. So all of your problem numbers will be multiples of 3. It's only 10 problems, so check your work and make sure you're doing well, okay? And bring me any questions you have. See you tomorrow.